The jungle fell silent. Then a single bird cried out. Seconds later, the wind shifted. Trees swayed in warning, and deep in the brush, danger crept forward. A tribal elder had once said, "The birds speak before the forest breathes." No one believed him until the day the birds screamed, before the earth split open. It started with a group of hunters, experienced, fearless, raised in the wild. That morning, the elder stopped them. His eyes were fixed on the treetops. "Not today," he whispered. "The jungle has changed her voice." They laughed. How could birds predict what men could not? But he stood firm, unmoving, listening not with ears, but with something else, a deeper connection, as if his soul could feel the shift in the canopy. The hunters vanished by midday. What followed wasn't just a disappearance, it was a message. Feathers were scattered in places no bird had flown. Birdsong ceased for hours. And when it returned, it came in unfamiliar tones, calls that mimicked warning, patterns that signaled more than sound. The jungle wasn't quiet. It was speaking. One boy, the elder's grandson, believed. He began recording the songs. What he uncovered changed everything. Each time the jungle faced a shift, storm, predator, fire, the birds changed rhythm. Calls grew sharper before danger struck. When harmony returned, the melodies softened again. Coincidence? The boy didn't think so. He tested it. One evening, the birds' tones turned erratic. Without waiting, he pulled his goat herd from the riverbank. That night, a silent predator, a massive crocodile, crawled ashore exactly where they'd grazed. It wasn't luck. It was language, a hidden code that only those who listened could hear. Soon, others followed the boy's lead. Farmers delayed planting after flocks flew opposite their usual path. Fishermen canceled journeys when the herons didn't land. Over time, even the skeptics stopped mocking. The birds weren't just background. They were the jungle's warning system. The elder passed, but his final words echoed through the tribe. When we stop hearing the birds, we stop hearing the forest. Now, years later, his words ring louder. Because one morning, the birds stopped. Not a single call, not a rustle, not a beat of wing. Silence. And when the silence stretched longer than it ever had, the villagers knew they had forgotten to listen. Something was coming, something they couldn't see. But the birds had already warned them. It wasn't myth, it wasn't madness. It was memory, a language ancient and alive. The jungle doesn't roar to speak, it whispers through wings. If you've ever wondered whether nature truly has a voice, remember this story. Listen when others don't. The answer may not come in words, but in wings, feathers, rhythm, silence. The jungle never lies. But only to those who hear. This is Jungle Echoes, Rescue and Mystery. Each week we bring you the most incredible stories of the wild. From daring rescues to spine-tingling mysteries, all the amazing ways nature keeps us on our toes. Don't miss a single adventure. Subscribe now and join our wild journey. In the heart of Borneo, where ancient trees touch the sky and life teems in the emerald green, there's a legend spoken in hushed tones. A tale of a hunter named Kellen and the mystical bird that became his guide. Kellen was renowned for two things: his skill with a spear and his unshakable confidence. To Kellen, the jungle was a pantry to be pillaged, its creatures a feast waiting to be had. But one day, arrogance took flight. As he boasted about his prowess, Kellen dared to claim, "There's no creature in this jungle I cannot catch." That's when the jungle fell silent. Not a chirp, not a rustle, not a splash broke the stillness. And from the canopy above, a single bird spoke. "Then catch me," it challenged, its voice echoing with power. And with that, it disappeared into the green abyss. Kellen scoffed. He was a hunter, not a magician. But pride wrestled with curiosity, and curiosity won. He set off in pursuit, following the bird's taunts with silent steps. Days blurred into nights. The jungle, once familiar, became a labyrinth of deceit. Vines that shifted positions, paths that forked into illusions. And all the while, the bird mocked him, sometimes just out of sight, sometimes perched on a leaf, regarding him with eyes that seemed to hold ancient wisdom. Exhausted and empty-handed, Kalen finally slumped against a giant tree. Defeated, he admitted, "I lose. You are too quick, too clever." The jungle around them seemed to sigh, and the bird hopped onto his outstretched arm. It was then he noticed the markings on its feathers, intricate patterns that resembled the constellations in the night sky. And in that moment, the bird transformed, becoming not just a bird, but a guide, a teacher, a link to a world Kalen had never seen. It led him to hidden clearings bathed in sunlight, where plants with medicinal powers grew. It showed him nests of weaver ants, each leaf perfectly stitched together, showcasing nature's artistry. It introduced him to a family of orangutans, their eyes reflecting intelligence that belied their wildness. The jungle, once just a backdrop to Colin's hunting escapades, revealed its wonders to him. It whispered secrets in rustling leaves and gurgling streams, secrets that spoke of interconnectedness, respect, and balance. Finally, when the sky mirrored the color of the jungle canopy, the bird landed on Colin's shoulder and turned to him. Its gaze seemed to pierce through Colin's pretense and pride. "You wanted to catch me," it said, its voice resonating with the wisdom of ages. But what did you really seek? Speed, strength, cunning. Kalen looked into the bird's eyes and saw his own reflection, small and insignificant in the face of the vast, intricate jungle. Shame washed over him, replacing his arrogance. He understood now. He hadn't just been outsmarted by a bird. He had been shown the very purpose of his existence, to live in harmony with the jungle, not as its master, but as its student. From that day on, Colin became the guardian of the jungle. He taught others what he had learned, becoming a bridge between the human world and the wild embrace of nature. And whenever anyone heard the melodious yet challenging call echoing through the trees, they knew it was the whisper of the jungle, urging them to look beyond themselves and find their place in the grand tapestry of life. This is Jungle Echoes, Rescue and Mystery, and if you love these tales, your adventure awaits. Click the link below to explore more stories of the wild. Dive into uncharted territories of the animal kingdom and uncover mysteries that will leave you in awe. Every click brings you closer to nature's wild wonders. So don't wait, your journey starts now.